When you're making charts or figures in Excel or any program, complexity should never be your goal. Despite that, there are times when it's helpful to add more information to a chart, and we're going to use our weather data as a great example of times when we might want to do that. Let's quickly review the data that we have, and we'll go back to our data source here, our World Weather Information Service. And as you know, we've been working with our high and low temperatures for each month, but we also collected data on precipitation, the amount of rain or snow that we get each month in our particular area. As you see on this web page, both of these kinds of data, temperature and rainfall, are presented on a chart. We know this because we have two separate vertical axes. We have a temperature axis and we have a rainfall axis. This can help paint a very clear picture of the climate in this region. It gives us a lot of information, high and low temperatures, and the amount of precipitation in each month. And it does it in a relatively straightforward and transparent format. So I wouldn't say this is too complex. It's just a very rich figure that gives us a lot of information. And so we can present more information in a simple way. And that simplicity is really one of our key goals when we're making charts and figures, not complexity. That said, because we're presenting different kinds of information, temperature and rainfall, we do need to add a little complexity, and that complexity is in the form of a second vertical axis. In a moment, I'm going to show you how to do that with our temperature and precipitation data. Before we do that, I'm going to ask you a question I'd like you to answer. What is it that's missing from this chart here on the World Weather Information Service that is hindering our interpretation of the data? Take a look at this chart, figure out what it's showing us, and then I'm going to ask you a question. What is missing? Once you've answered that question, then we'll move on to how we can prepare a combination chart like this in Excel.